We begin with a live look outside over High Point University right now. Just a beautiful look out there with the clouds and the sunshine. Temperature 72 degrees, but it feels like 77, so be aware of that. But Brian says it will be a fantastic day to get outside and enjoy maybe an event, maybe a nice walk, a workout. But if it does get a little warmer, you want to make sure that you're always being safe in the heat.
I mean, that's always first. Safety first is what they say. So an exercise science professor at High Point University has conducted research that's related to exertional heat stroke. So he's sharing those tips that folks need to know in order to stay safe with those outdoor workouts that you may be having this summer, like you said, with bar class.
Yes.
So we'd like to welcome Dr. Kunin now, Matthew Kunin now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Audrey and Christina.
Thank you. Well, first of all, how does extreme heat affect you when you're doing a workout, and what should people know as they're heading out to maybe start working out?
I'm sorry, I was only able to catch part of that question, but relative to what people should know as far as going outside, making sure that they focus on the 3 W's, which is going to be water, water, and water. So first off, thinking about how much water a person needs to ingest, people should be aware of the fact that sweat rates during normal temperatures can be as high as 1.5 liters per hour, and during hot temperatures can get up to 3 liters per hour. So for a visual example, it's possible that somebody could lose the equivalent of 6 bottles of water in an hour if they were doing a high intensity workout out in the heat. So making sure that an individual replaces the water that has been lost from the body is a good place to start. Then looking beyond that, thinking about having adequate water available to make sure that if an individual succumbs to exertional heat stress or maybe even heat stroke, that they can submerge the body, as much of the body as possible, inside of that cold water. The rates of heat extraction from that cold water are very, very high, anywhere from 1/4 to 1/3 of a degree per minute. And that compares to like normal recommendations of having a cold towel or having ice packs put on the major arteries, which only remove about 1/20th of a degree per minute. So really just if you're going to exercise outside, having a plan and making sure that you're safe. And then one thing that I heard Brian mention relative to the weather that should be good news for everybody coming up, for the 4th of July and also for the Sunday prior, we're looking at about maybe 85 to 87 degrees and maybe 65 to 70% relative humidity. And so that's really good because it's not going to be unseasonably hot, and the ambient temperatures in conjunction with the humidity isn't going to be high enough to make it so that sweat output is compromised. So we should expect to have, good times, enjoyable times on the 4th.
And not just dehydration, but what else can cause heat-related illness, doctor?
If somebody has pre-existing conditions, they can definitely predispose to heat stroke. One of the most interesting that I find, and one that we're involved with on research, is if somebody has done a high-intensity workout prior to exposure to a hot environment, because increased levels of muscle damage can cause proteins to leak out of the muscle, and those proteins leaking out of the muscle can actually end up compromising renal function. And so there's a good deal of research that's being developed in this area to be able to make sure that individuals that perform a lot of work in heat stress environments, maybe athletes, military soldiers, kind of the like, that they're adequately protected.
Talk about protection. I mean, what should folks start doing if they experience heat-related illness and these symptoms you're talking about? What's the #1 thing we should do?
Well, if somebody's experiencing heat exhaustion as compared to heat stroke, the differential diagnosis would be heat exhaustion. They'd be below 40 degrees Celsius for their core temperature, and they wouldn't have any central nervous system dysfunction. For those individuals, they're probably going to be okay because most commonly they end up stopping exercise anyway because, again, they are exhausted. So being aware of the fact that if you feel the environment is too much for you, you need to start taking it easy or just discontinue that new exercise bout that you've started. That would be a good idea. But moving from there over to heat stroke, that's much, much more serious because you're looking at 40 degrees Celsius for core temperature or higher, and also the fact that you're experiencing central nervous system dysfunction. Typically in those individuals, we're going to see maybe an absence or definitely a lessening of the sweat response. And as that body water becomes compromised, they're not going to be able to match the needs of the body relative to cooling and also maintaining perfusion of the vital organs. So that's where individuals really get into trouble. So again, the best way to mitigate or prevent all of that is just focusing on those 3 W's, which is again, jokingly, water, water, water.
All right, those are some very timely tips. Thank you so much, Dr. Kennan, for joining us this morning. And if you missed out on any of the great information that he shared, of course, we're going to have that listed on our website at thetriadcw.com.